small talk questions. So, yeah, I'll get started now. The first question is, what is something you're terrible at, but wish you could do well? For me, that's definitely drawing. I'm really bad at drawing, but I want to be able to do it well, because if I was able to draw well, I could make a lot of different things for the channel, like the thumbnails or the channel profile picture. I wouldn't have to just take screen captures of other things. So yeah, I think being able to draw would be really cool. The second question is, if you were a character in a movie, book, or television show, what genre would you live in? I'd probably choose romance, because I think the only two genres that would be, I guess, safe to live in would be romance or comedy, or maybe drama. But I wouldn't want to live in a drama. That sounds very stressful. Maybe a little bit of drama, but definitely not the focus. And then I feel like comedy implies that you'll end up in unfortunate situations also mention that in the anime itself, the main protagonist names something after the same name as well. But yeah, basically, she is very quiet and doesn't show a lot of emotion. But she also is somewhat trusting of people and likes to be around them, which I can relate to a lot. I enjoy being around people, but I don't really enjoy the interaction as much. She also likes to make fun of people in a semi-joking way, and I tend to do that sometimes. The next question is, what is the most important quality you look for in a friend or romantic partner? For me, it's the ability to listen. And by that, I don't really mean listening or conversational skills. For example, some people consider good listening skills to be letting the other person talk, and I don't really think that's the most important aspect of it. To me, the most important part of listening is the comprehension, understanding what the person said, and remembering it. So, I don't mind if someone cuts in the conversation every once in a while, as long as everything that I say gets through to them, and they respond to everything that I say. I find that to be way more important, because that translates to recalling things as well. Some people I talk to will ask me a question, and then I give my answer, and then like a month later, they'll ask me the same question. And if it's something that I really cared about, then it kind of frustrates me. There's even people in my life who have asked me the same question like 4 or 5 times. I think that's true for a lot of family members in most people's lives. Extended family, where you see them once every couple of months, and they ask you the same questions, and you give the same responses. It gets a little repetitive. So yeah, the ability to listen and understand. I think another thing related to that is that it shows that they're paying attention and that they care. For example, sometimes in a group of people, I respect that very much. I think if I see someone do that, I instantly find them to be a good person. The next question is, what question do you most hate being asked? For me, it's anything along the lines of what's new in your life, or what's going on, or has anything interesting happened recently? And that's because I don't do very many things. So the answer is almost always nothing. But other people expect that you do interesting things. And for me, a lot of times, even if I did something interesting, it's not something that I really want to talk to anyone about, because there are some experiences that I like just having for myself, such as finishing playing a video game, or watching an anime. For a lot of those, I think they are only things that I would talk about if I wanted to bring them up, because then I can kind of be prepared to talk about it, because it's something that matters to me a lot. And for things that matter to me a lot, I want to have a good idea of what I want to say about it. I don't know why, but that's just kind of how I view it. It's kind of weird. The next question is, what is a brief summary of your outlook on life? I think probably that it's important to be cautious and pleasant. And I think those two words are very, very specific for a reason. Cautious, obviously, because you don't want to get into any situations that could have been avoided, that are negative situations. And even for the positive ones, being cautious about it can help ensure that nothing goes wrong with them, and that they go as smoothly as possible and stay good situations. And then I chose pleasant as a word because most people will say be kind, and I think being kind is a little misleading, because some people can take that a little too far and try and help someone when they might not need help, or if they don't want to be bothered. It's still not necessarily a bad thing, but I think being pleasant is a lot easier to achieve without absolutely nothing and stay completely silent, and you have achieved being pleasant. So yeah, basically, I choose pleasant because it's a lot easier to achieve. And while technically kindness has the potential of being more helpful, it also has the potential of accidentally bothering someone. Whereas it's pretty hard to do that if you're just aiming to be pleasant. I don't know. Okay, the next question is, what are you most likely to be arrested for? I probably wouldn't ever get arrested, but I have technically shoplifted. There was one time I was getting water from the grocery store, and they were the big packs of water bottles. And so I had 3 of them, and the cashier asked me how many there were, and I said 3, but I guess he heard 2, and so he inputted 2. And I noticed it on the little screen that has all of the items, but I didn't mention it because I was too nervous, because I didn't want to be awkward about it or anything, I don't know. But yeah, technically I've shoplifted before. I mean, I don't even know if you can be arrested for doing that. Maybe you can. I think you can. Yeah, anyway. The last question is, what social custom do you wish would end, and why? For me, it's probably, I don't really know if this is a social custom, but for me it would probably be requiring formal attire. I've never really understood why people need other people to dress a certain way. To me, what's more important is that the people that I want to be at an event are there, and I view clothing as part of someone's personality. The way they dress is a part of who they are, and requiring that they dress in formal attire